everyone, and welcome to Asian Viewpoints. I'm Mary Sitt. Our guest today was a 27-year-old divorced mom of a 4-year-old daughter back in 1980. And with only 4 years in the chemical industry and $5,000 in savings, she started a chemical management and distribution firm. Today, Donna Fujimoto Cole is the founder and president and CEO of Cole Chemical. She's also a community activist and a mentor to many young women. Donna, thanks for being with us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, Donna, as a young divorced mom, it must have been really scary to quit that corporate job and go out on your own. How did you do that?
It was at a point in my life when I needed to make more money.
Mhm.
And where I was in my position, I wasn't going to be able to do that. I had some bosses who were um, not willing to give me more money. I had to beg for a company car to make sales calls.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so I knew, I needed to do something, but at the same time, I was in the industry for 4 years, and I was just fortunate enough that some of my customers recognized my good hard work and honesty and asked me if I would start my own business to help them meet their government subcontracting goals. So, I was in the right place at the right time, Mary.
Okay. And so they actually asked you, encouraged you to start your own company and
They
promised to
did.
be your clients?
Yes, they did. They were very helpful, helping me with introductions to suppliers, to also providing me with large contracts, to paying me in 15 days because I had to pay my suppliers in 30 days. So it really was, a lot of companies coming together to say, hey, we want to make sure that she's successful.
Donna, over your long career, you faced much adversity. You're a woman in a male-dominated industry. You're also a woman of color, and that's sort of like two strikes against you, potentially, right? How
Yeah.
did you turn that adversity into an asset?
Well, I think I look back to when I was a kid and being bullied. And I realized that I could be mean and resentful and want to hurt other people, or I could want to help other people and get connected. And so that's actually what I did. I didn't know that until I do all these public speakings and people ask me to go back and figure out, what have you done in your life and why? So I just use that to say that was my challenge to turn adversity into opportunity and advantage.
Can you give me an example of something you did back then where, it was a bad thing that you turned into a good thing?
Yeah, there were many instances. I had one situation at lunch. I was with a guy in the industry, and he said, you don't have a chemical degree, so you're not going to make it. And I said, but I've come this far. I've already worked in the industry for 4 years, so I don't see why I can't. I have the energy and the passion, to own my own business and succeed. So he even said to me, well, you probably don't even know how to spell diethanolamine.
Oh my
And
goodness.
was really taken back by that. But I was young. I was a woman. I was Japanese American,
Mhm.
divorced. So I had a lot of things going against me. But I think perseverance is something that we all have to put on our boots every day and get up and say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do a good job and the best I can do.
So you didn't let that discourage you when these men talked down to you.
No, because I think I had so many good sponsors and mentors, and those are so important in life, right,
Mhm.
Mary? To have people who have your back when you're not in the room.
Right. So you have some great anecdotes where you follow the courage of your convictions. You walk out of a meeting, end a contract, um, or you just withhold a promised donation when something isn't right. And tell me one of those stories. And how do you know when to follow the courage of your convictions and when to stay and endure?
Yeah, that moral courage comes from, I think, my ethics and my values and what's right and what's wrong. And that I've grown to be very staunch and strong about standing up for my morals, my ethics. That if I don't do it, then, I lose out totally. There's those times when you leave a meeting, you go, oh, I wish I would have said X or Y, right?
Mhm.
And why didn't I? And so I've just gotten to the point that what would happen? Nobody's going to kill you over it. And you might be able to change somebody, which would be great. To educate people and bring awareness, I think is the most wonderful thing that we as humans can do.
Can you tell me the story about when you looked at a contract and you didn't sign it? What happened?
Oh, yes. So we were bringing on a joint venture partner with our organization because we wanted to grow exponentially and not go through 5 years of growth, right? So we approached a Japanese company to ask them if they wanted to do a joint venture with us. And it was yes. And so we were at the table to sign the documents. And the last page was a stock distribution page. And I read it and I kept looking for my name. And Mary, my name was not on that list. And I looked up at Yoshi and I said, my name's not on here to own stock. I own 26% of our company and we're going to join forces with yours. And he said, Donna, I'm so sorry. We can't let you own stock. You're a woman, but worse, you're a Japanese American woman.
Oh my
And
goodness. And this is a Japanese company. You think they want to promote?
yeah. And so I looked at my two partners and I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, this meeting's over. And I got up to leave, you know. And I always say that my partners were so supportive that
Mhm.
they got up and walked out with me. But later, somebody said to me, Donna, you were doing all the work. You were buying and selling, running the tank car fleet, operating the company with employees, hiring them while they were out golfing and drinking. Are you crazy? They had to leave. Who was going to run the company?
So, Donald, did you hear a reaction from the other company after you walked out? Did they just, was it silent or did they
No,
apologize or what?
just silent. And my if you want to call it revenge, was how do I build that relationship between Japanese businesses and Cole Chemical and Donna Cole, and how do we bridge that gap because it's so wide?
Mhm.
And I was fortunate enough to go to Japan on the U.S. Japan Council as a delegate. 55 years old was my first trip to Japan, right?
Wow.
And since then, last year the Ministry of Foreign Affairs gave me high recognition for bridging those relationships between Japan and the U.S. So I'm just really excited. See, you can make positive change.
That's great, Donna. It's a wonderful story. What was your biggest challenge at the beginning of your career, and what is your biggest challenge now?
Wow. My biggest challenge at the beginning was to obtain credit from companies and to be able to buy from them. A lot of them wouldn't give me credit. And so I had to ask Bob Berryman of Berryman Chemical if he was a mentor at the time. He told me, go ahead, start your own business. If they're willing to support you, do it. And I had to ask him to buy product for me and
Mm,
sell it to me so that I could sell to my customers. Isn't that sad?
yeah, that
Um,
is.
so that was one of our biggest challenges when we first started. I think the other was, with our employees. It's very difficult to maintain employees, to train them, to grow them,
Mhm.
and and for them to stay as your company is growing. A lot of people like it when it's small, and they don't like it when it's bigger, and there's
Mhm.
too many other people. So I think part of it is learning how to manage your staff and hiring the right people, put them in the right slots. The
Mhm.
other is your customers. I think your customers are probably the easiest people to do business with. And then you have buyers, right?
Right.
And then you have those people who are transporting your chemicals for you as well. So it really is a juggling game to make sure that everybody's up and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
And one of the things you do, Donna, that's really commendable is that you've always been very active in the community, um, and you encourage young women, especially young women of color. What would you say as a mentor to young women starting out in their business today?
You're just going to have to keep prevailing and have
Mhm.
perseverance. But more importantly, failure is okay. Because when you fail, you got to learn. You got to learn what happened, and then you can be successful. And so I think sometimes your biggest failures can really help propel you into the future. So don't take a failure and go, oh, poor me, and then just settle,
Mhm.
and go backwards. Just keep going forward.
Donna, what makes a good leader?
Mm. Somebody who's ethical, caring, and compassionate makes a good leader.
Well, you are certainly all of that. And thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you, Mary.
If you enjoyed the interview, please click the like button below and be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting a new video every Thursday. I'm Mary Sitt. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next video.